I realized when I went to upload these that number 13 did not properly process. So I had to go back and do it again. That's why you see these problems already worked. I'm not sure what went wrong, but here is number 13. A shop rents equipment for either $60 per week or $12 per day. For what number of days, D, is it more expensive to rent the equipment at the weekly rate than at the daily rate? Now, if you know how to work with inequalities, you can just go ahead and do this one. Just set up an inequality and solve it. But if you're watching this particular clip, I'm guessing that you might be struggling with this. So let me show you a little bit of logic behind the inequality, and then I'll work the inequality for you. I'm going to set up a table just to organize my thoughts a little bit. And I want to put this in terms of the two options that we have. Now, we can rent in terms of days or weeks. So let's go ahead and mark that off. I can rent by the day, or I can rent for a whole week. Now, we know that the flat rate for the week is $60. So how many days would that be for a week? Well, there are 7 days in a week. So let's mark off 7 rows. And this never comes out evenly, so I'll have to take off the last little bit down here, but that's okay. Again, you don't have to do this, but if you're struggling with this problem, this is a good way to think it through. So 1 day is going to cost me $12, or I can rent the whole week for a flat $60. And really, I shouldn't be putting 60 in each, I guess. I should just do it for the whole week. Okay, if I rent by the day, on the second day, that would be 2 times 12, or 24. 3 days would be 36. 4 12s are 48. 5 12s are 60. 6 12s are 72. And 8 12s are, 7 12s are 84. So this shows if you rent by the day, you would pay up to $84. If you rent by the week, you would pay a flat rate of $60. So on the 5th day, it really doesn't matter if you do the weekly or the daily. If you know that you're going to need this equipment for 5 days, you can pay the daily rate or you can pay the whole week. You will pay the same amount. If you're looking at more than 5 days, so the 6th and 7th day, it would be a much better deal to do the weekly. You would be able to save several dollars. Just pay the weekly rate, and then you have the whole week to do what you want with the equipment. If you are doing less than 5 days, the daily rates will be a better deal. So all we're trying to do here is figure out at what point does it become a better deal to do one way or the other. We're just comparing the prices at those two different rates. So the question says, for what number of days that we're calling D, is it more expensive to rent the equipment at the weekly rate than at the daily rate? So we want to know the point that the days let me think a second. Yes, okay. We want to compare the days to the weeks. So the week is $60. The days, you pay $12 a day. So $60, 12 day divide by 12. This says when the days are fewer than 5, that would be that purple section up there. That would be a better deal. If you only want the equipment for 4 days, don't pay the weekly rate, is what we're saying. Anything less than 5 days, when days are fewer than 5, you're better off with the daily rate. If the days are more than 5, you're better off with the weekly rate. The question is saying for what number of days is it more expensive to rent the equipment at the weekly rate than the daily rate? So we want those days to be less than 5. At that point, we are better off paying the daily rate. That one's a little bit confusing to me, just in the wording. But the answer should be E. I will double check the answer key when I'm done, but it should be less than 5.